All right, here we go. Protect yourself at all times. We are on it. Ron Futrell and Bill O'Donnell here with the latest edition of the Vegas Sportscast. Bill, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again, Ron. It has been many months since you and I have done a live broadcast together, so it's good to be back.
Way too long, number one. People have had to suffer through me just rambling for 5-10 minutes, okay, and talking sport. So, anyway, and I kept promising, oh, yeah, we'll get together and do the dual duty and make it happen again. But we are here. We are ready to roll and doing it live. So those that are listening live, hope you enjoy. Those that are downloading, hit the subscribe button, okay? Wherever you go, Google Play, iTunes Radio, iHeartRadio, go out there and iTunes, hit the subscribe button so it comes down to you every day. So on the list today, Bill, we've got, I guess, some NHL happening. We got Vegas Golden Knights tonight going at it at Tampa Bay. That's the best in the East against the best in the West, and Rebel basketball. Another loss at home in conference play. So, for Vegas sports, where do you want to start? You make the call.
Well, let's first start about some exciting games for football last week before we get into this week.
Whoa!
I know you might have talked about it already this week, but I mean, unreal. I mean, we are. What is really great about this playoff season so far. Granted, I am a Patriots fan. I want our listeners to be very well aware of that. So I do hold a little bit of bias towards the Patriots.
Oh.
But what I do love seeing this year is the new teams in the playoffs. We're so used to seeing, obviously, the Steelers every year, the Patriots every year, the Packers normally, this year being an exception. But it's been the same caliber of teams year after year.
You're happy to see the crappy quarterbacks and the crappy teams in. Oh, yeah, you're happy that Pittsburgh's not there, Green Bay's not there, and Aaron Rodgers.
While that is true, I am also happy to see some new blood in the playoffs, re-energize some fans. Obviously, it's been an off season for a lot of the NFL, losing a lot of fan base, for multitude of reasons. But, Minnesota made the playoffs. Jacksonville Jaguars not only made the playoffs, but they advanced over the Steelers last week. So that is an exciting time. We got to see your Rams make it to the playoffs, a one and done, of course, but they made it. And that's what's really exciting is this year we're seeing teams that don't normally go the distance, and the teams that normally do, like Green Bay not making it, the Colts not making it. A lot of teams that, your usual mainstays, every year it's stale. It's the same teams in the playoffs. And, of course, the same teams usually winning, being my Patriots. But, this year, just seeing a different caliber of teams in there, it is exciting. Last week, what do you have to say about that Saints finish, that Saints-Minnesota Vikings finish?
I'm still waiting for the NFL to review that touchdown and see if it really was a touchdown. They may come out in the next couple of days and overturn that. The way they can't decide whether it's a catch or not, or whether it's a real touchdown. I know 3 or 4 days is a little bit long to take for a review, but that's where we're probably going with the NFL eventually. But you think they're done though? Do you think that the Diggs catch? You think it's going to stand?
Well,
you think they're going to stand?
All I'm saying is, Saints fans, just be prepared. Saints might get the phone call on Saturday, letting them know they have a game the next day.
Oh, you got a game. We have said that's not a catch now. We have ruled that because he didn't grab the ball, take it from the end zone to the sideline, take it home, and raise it as a small child until age 5. That's now what a catch is. You have to.
He did not have 80,000 football moves prior to crossing the end zone. So but it is exciting. That was a heck of a finish. Unbelievable. I mean, I was rooting for the Vikings. I just wanted to see them. Although I did want to see a Drew Brees, Tom Brady Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that would have been great, fun. Goliath versus Goliath, for two Super Bowl greats, two football greats. But seeing Minnesota advance, obviously the heartwarming story with the 99-year-old woman. Is she 99 or 100?
Something like that.
At that point, who's counting? But she was at the game. She was meeting with Roger Goodell. She was cheering for her Vikings. It was good to see.
We're going to see instead, I guess, a Nick Foles Blake Bortles Super Bowl, which isn't real thrilling to me, but I guess that's. Wait a second.
That I hope will not happen. But the level of quarterback play. I mean, we have absolutely hands down one of the best, if not the best, quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Brady of all time. Well, he's got 5 rings and just keeps it up.
Going up against the potential of Nick Foles, Casey Keenum, Case Keenum. And Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, in case you're wondering that. That's Jacksonville. So, okay, the first game on Sunday morning, let's go on this one first. That's Jacksonville at New England. New England's -9 in this game, so heavy favorites for an AFC championship game. That's a pretty big number right there. But defense, okay, Jacksonville, even though they didn't play good defense last week against Pittsburgh, of course, 45-42, but they still are known as a pretty good defensive team. I don't know what they do on offense against. Well, Patriots aren't a great defensive team, okay? So,
well, the Patriots defense has come along a lot over the course of the season. They started out extremely terrible. They were giving up huge chunk plays to both the run and the pass. They just could not get it together. Every game continued. They continued to finally gel. They continued to get better and better. But one thing that you really have to consider with the Jacksonville Jaguars, a lot of people tout their defense. They were ranked the number 2 defense this year. Absolutely, without a doubt. They do have a great defense, but their defense is not as good as you think on paper. The actual, if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars...
Well, they don't play the game on paper, Bill. They play it on, it's usually grass field. So, okay, you didn't mean it that. Okay, I get your point.
The actual stat lines, and, if you look at strength of scheduling, look at the offenses they went up against. Remember, they did play against Indianapolis twice. They played against Houston twice. Obviously, the Indianapolis Colts, led by Jacoby Brissett, so and as well as Houston, the 4-12 Houston, Texans. They played twice this year. Tennessee, Tennessee obviously being a playoff team, but not not putting up massive yards or massive points.
So now in the playoffs, they're going up against more quality opponents. They're better opponents, and it's showing.
And it's showing. Okay. Obviously they gave up 42 points to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Final game of the season, they gave up over 40 points to the San Francisco 49ers. So this is really a big change for Jacksonville. If you look at where they stood on paper, they were actually going up against the lowest ranking offenses in the league for the majority of their games. So that really does say a lot to, how good their defense is. Your caliber of opponents is really going to dictate those numbers. So that's a big thing. I'm really curious to see how they're going to be able to match up against Rob Gronkowski. That's going to be a big change as well. No team has really figured out Rob Gronkowski. When he is healthy and we have a healthy caliber of players with Dion Lewis in the backfield, and I say we,
you're
as a Patriots fan, I speak for the organization. Just don't tell Bill Belichick. He'll probably take me out back.
Well, you speak more than him for the organization. You speak more than him.
We're on to Jacksonville. So
Aaron Hernandez is not playing this Sunday.
Oh my.
So. Oh, well, wait, no, I shouldn't have brought. No, that's too soon. It's really too soon. So no, I didn't. So you've got Gronkowski playing instead.
So yeah,
okay.
Gronk is out there. Teams defenses still having a hard time, covering him when they actually, depending on where they line him up. And what was really interesting against the Titans, they lined him up at fullback a few times, and that's a really interesting move to put Rob Gronkowski in the fullback position. So,
blocking for a running, blocking for the tailback,
but anybody, and really that's what makes Gronkowski such a versatile player, is that while he does have the strength, the height, distance, every defender that goes up against him says somebody that is that large and much like a Clydesdale, they don't have the speed behind him. Rob Gronkowski does. The defenders that have had to cover him have said, taking him down or even just wrapping him up is just impossible because of his size and the speed. If you look away for a half second, he's already gone. And so that, kind of all that mixed together, he really is going to be, between him and Dion Lewis, they're going to be the keys to this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars and being able to get some points on the board against their what is ranked a top 5 defense.
I came here trying to make a case today for how Jacksonville could win this game outright. Yeah, I couldn't really come. I tried my hardest. I said, I got to do something. First of all, I have to be the antagonist and just say, okay, I'm going to go, well, you'll go Patriots, I'm going to go the other way. I could make the case for Jacksonville to cover the spread, 9 points in an AFC title game. is a lot of points, but that's too.
It is a lot of points, but let's put that into perspective for the bettors here. The Patriots, when they have had double digits point spreads, where they've been the double digit favorite,
Yeah.
they're 16-3. Now that's not 16-3 winning the game. That's 16-3 covering the spread, which is incredible to actually think about. 16-3 covering a double digit spread.
But they're not double digits in this one. They're just single digits, which makes your point even greater.
Which makes your point
even greater. This is a great cover team. No,
and really, I would anticipate by tomorrow that is probably going to be a double digit spread. You're going to get some last minute, bets on the Patriots. I don't think people are going to be coming in on Sunday saying, "Hey, let me put $20,000 down on the Jags." You're going to see Patriots bets last second. They're going to go with the favorite in this.
All right, you're listening to the Vegas Sportscast with Bill O'Donnell. I'm Ron Futrell, and we got game number 2 in the afternoon. Okay, the first game starts around 12 noon. It's going to be seen on Channel 8, by the way. You want to watch that? We're doing a special show afterwards on Channel 8. I'm going to be live at the South Point Sportsbook, and so stay tuned, check that out, and then you can flip over to the NFC title game once we're done with our special show. And that's the NFC title game is going to be Minnesota at Philadelphia. So that's the matchup where you got Case Keenum for Minnesota going up against Nick Foles for Philadelphia, a couple of former St. Louis Rams quarterbacks from their horrible last season in St. Louis, and then Keenum followed them to L.A., and of course, last year they played horribly, got rid of him, and it is Jared Goff all the way in L.A., but enough about the future world champion, Super Bowl champion next year, L.A. Rams at this point. But these two quarterbacks, what sort of odds would you have gotten on that it'd be Case Keenum, Nick Foles, Super Bowl? Foles filling in for Carson Wentz, who I just love as a quarterback, and I wish the Rams, I still to this day wish the Rams would have taken him first, but you can't fault what Jared Goff did last year, but I just like Carson Wentz. Anyway, that being said, and Minnesota playing at Philadelphia is -3. So the Eagles are getting 3 points at home. I was a little bit shocked by that number.
As I think they should. Although Minnesota has had a revolving door of, quarterbacks over the years, and obviously we've had some injuries this year, with their primary going out and, Keenum coming in.
Right.
They have still had, Keenum has been on a good run for the past few games. The majority of the season. Enough to warrant to keep his job, even with a healthy, I can't remember his name,
Carson Wentz?
No, on the Vikings side. Went out, came back.
Yes, back and forth, back and forth.
I'll get you that name in a second. Drawing a blank, but obviously with him being able to keep his job, so going up against a true backup of Nick Foles, no doubt about it. If Wentz was healthy, Wentz would be playing without a doubt. So,
and Philly might be a 3-point favorite at home.
Yep.
He couldn't make that much difference to a game, having that sort of quarterback, but and I'm going, okay, here's, since the LA Rams are nowhere near the Super Bowl this year, here's my thinking, is that first of all, that I'm rooting for any team to beat the Patriots, so I got to do that, and so I'll be rooting for Jacksonville on Sunday. When I fail miserably on that one, then I'm going to be rooting in the afternoon game for Minnesota to win, because I want Minnesota to have to play in the Super Bowl, get to play rather, at their home stadium in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots to have a better shot at Minnesota winning the game, if that makes any difference. It might be, might give them a little better chance in Philadelphia in that game. Just my thoughts. And I know, because I'm like probably 99% of the NFL fans, that you have your favorite team, number one, and then your second favorite team is who's ever playing the Patriots, right?
Man, I don't know why everybody just hates on the Patriots.
But you have to like that. You've got to like that, because it's only because they're so extremely successful.
You know what? I do not mind that people hate on them so much. What I do mind is every single week seeing so many people complaining that the refs are favoring the Patriots. Now, I do think that some plays, are close, and if you actually go by the letter of the law in the rule book, such as like what is an actual catch,
like Jesse James against the Steelers, and what would have been the touchdown, but I guess the Steelers wouldn't have made now that catch becomes irrelevant. Remember, that was a big deal because that would have determined home field advantage for the finals.
That's
which
true.
It does not matter because Pittsburgh did not get there. So all the talk about that catch is the catch, is it wasn't the catch.
I think the problem is that the Steelers themselves were looking too much forward to destiny to put the Patriots and Steelers together, that they completely overlooked the Jaguars. You had Le'Veon Bell on Saturday into Sunday, just before his Sunday game. All he did was argue